It doesn't mean anything. It just means I don't like to wear fancy dresses and high heels. Hey guys, welcome back to my world where no matter how old you get, you never need to grow up. And today we're going to talk about a doll line that I am so sad that it did not do better. And I would love it if we could somehow kind of resurrect it and keep it from going off into that dark good night. It's the Creatable World line of dolls from Mattel. Now I'm going to put links to where you can get them on Amazon. So Creatable World came out from Mattel, that's a doll stand going over the side of the desk, a little over a year ago, I guess. And the idea behind Creatable World is that these are dolls that are younger, so not necessarily designated an age, but an age before you would wear makeup. And that kind of makes it easier to do this concept. And so in these Creatable World kits, you get one doll, and then you get several different wigs and a variety of clothes. And the clothes are for, well, I don't want to say non-gender specific because, well, are they? Let's talk about that for a second. So I'm going to put a link to this book down below. This is called The Transgender Teen, a handbook for parents and professionals supporting transgender and non-binary teens. And fluid as well. And I think that this should be like a textbook that we study in high school because, and it shouldn't just be called transgender teen. We basically need to teach ourselves and be taught about gender identity, gender expression, sexuality, biology, and how those things are not as related to each other as we think they are, and that this construct of this very binary world that came to be in the 20th century did not actually exist originally. And that if you look at indigenous peoples, if you look back in history, and I find this part to be absolutely mind-blowing. There's another book called Female Husbands that I'll link to that also blew my mind. We, as people, used to be okay with people being different and not fitting into expected binary norms. And when we're taught about the past, we're taught that we were more conservative in the past, is how we're taught that modernism and modern times are more open and, I guess, liberal and whatever, and that in the past we were super conservative and that we were into oppression and repression. And that's not actually true. And so that was eye-opening for me. But if we come to the here and now, our children, the generation that grew up watching this channel, and you're now coming into adulthood, and so many of you have been very open in your comments and in your private messages to me about your journeys in gender identity, sexuality, gender expression, etc. A lot of parents have also shared with me how, their journeys with their own identities as well as their journeys with their children's identities. And I really thought that Creatable World would be such a bigger hit because it's not, and maybe the problem was that Creatable World was marketed too much as a gender neutral doll line. Like maybe that was just too much for some people and they couldn't handle it and it got relegated to the side. Because to me, Creatable World isn't just about gender and sexuality and gender expression. It's about, we all look different, So you can create a world with these doll sets of people that look like you or look like your friends, or just create a world where all your dolls look different. And by changing a wig or changing their outfit around, you can create a whole new character in your play, you know, in when you're playing. So that's what I saw them as. But I also think they are important because they do come with clothing, with varied clothing. So we're going to start with, and I'm going to talk to you as I'm opening this up. We're going to start with this one because I have not opened this one previously. Because I don't remember the shark t-shirt. So, and the other one actually I have opened before and Caden stole him from me. I turned him into a character named Larry, and Larry has been absconded with. But anyway, so the whole thing about gender identity and gender expression. So gender expression is something that I didn't know of as a thing until I started reading books about gender and sexuality and gender expression. And it's helped me to understand myself so much more, and has helped me to release some shame that I've been carrying. You know, I'm 52 years old, you know, but just carry your baggage. And about that, you know, somewhere in the back of my head, like, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Because I don't fit in. And I've talked about that a lot in my Monster High video. But so for instance, I love makeup. I love makeup, and I love like fingernails, okay? I give two craps about hair. No, I don't even give a crap about hair, really. But I'm gonna grow my hair in, I don't know, maybe. But I really don't like to do my hair. I'm not into hair. I don't read about hair. I look at other people's long, luxurious, gorgeous hair and I go, wow, that's really pretty. Like I look at Blake Lively on Gossip Girl and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But it's not something that I want to deal with, right? And clothes, I give zero craps about clothes, which is kind of funny. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off. Which is kind of funny because I'm actually wearing this shirt today that I bought it on Facebook. I very rarely buy clothes, but it was so cute because it had these like rainbow colored paw prints on it and I thought it was really cute. Of course, I bought it on Facebook, so it's like completely transparent. And I took it out of the little plastic package that it came in and I put it on and it's way too big and it's wrinkled. And I don't care. I don't care. I wear clothes. Oops, I lost my headband. Yeah, I'm also like struggling with the head. See, this is why I don't do hair, because I can't do hair, right? Like I can't even keep a headband on my head. I don't care about my clothes. I wear clothes until they fall apart. I have stains on my clothes, don't care. My jeans, I will wear my jeans until, like I've been wearing the same jeans for at least a decade now. They're very well made. If they get too big, like they are too big because I bought them when I was kind of swollen from doing steroids, but they, you know, so I don't need to unzip them to put them on and off. Big deal, you know, like, are they figure flattering? Who gives a crap? Shoes, don't give a crap. Socks, don't give a crap. Shaving my legs, don't give a crap. Shaving under my arms, give a crap. So, I don't fit the mold that, you know, people in my generation were raised to think that we need to fit in. And I'm not a jock, I'm not a tomboy, I'm not preppy, I'm not really grunge, I'm Melissa. And so to me, Creatable World is a way for us to teach our children, you know, so if parents get some of these for the holidays, please. Get some dolls for your kids that they can create people out of. Like people. It's not a character. They don't have a name. It's a person. It's a person that they make up in their head out of these accessories, out of the wigs. And you can mix and match the sets. Because they're all the same size. So, you know, you can take, you know, some of Larry's stuff. Well, his name isn't Larry. I named him Larry. He doesn't have a name, and he's not necessarily a he. I made him a he, but they're not. They're gender neutral. They're neither male nor female. They're whatever you want them to be. And so you can create these people. And I think that's just so cool. So this is what you get. You get a doll, a wig, different clothes and accessories. And so we're gonna create somebody out of this. We're gonna create a person. Let's make us a person. So, and I think that having a doll line that allows kids to create people and not be given a character like Barbie. Now, believe me, I love Barbie. I love Rainbow High. I love the new LOL OMG dolls. I love my Fail Fix dolls. I love Minnie Mouse. I love my Na-Na-Nas. I love Monster High. Like, I love dolls that are already coded as something with a character or their gender has already been determined. And I'm good with that, okay? I just think it's really, really good and important for us to also have dolls that aren't already coded as something. It's a person. It's a human. And then from there and from your child's imagination, this human person right here, who is, by the way, highly articulated. I mean, these dolls are great. Like we've got articulated wrists, elbows. I always have trouble with elbows when they first come out of the box. There we go. Articulated elbows, articulated wrists, articulated at the knees, decent hip flexation. Their heads have good rotation. So this is some really cool hair right here. See, like that hair could be, that's like my hair if I put some effort into it, actually. If I wanted to like curl the top of my hair, this is my hair. And so this doll, and they're also articulated at the ankle. So these are great, you know, for collectors and customizers as well. And this doll is in just a plain shirt and plain shorts, undergarments. There you go. Blank canvas, other than skin color and the hair that is rooted onto the doll. Now it's up to you, who has the Creatable World doll, to create a person. And I think it's really fun because you can create multiple people and create multiple stories. Now this is the wig, so we obviously have to try out this wig on this doll. I have to put on my glasses because I can't see. All right, so now the wigs were not the best. Oh, this has got like, I don't know, some hair. Some hair, but you know. All right, so I'm gonna try to get the wig over those cool curls they had at the front and kind of cover that up. Okay, so now we've got a person with long hair, long flowing brown hair. And if I were really like skilled at this, I could probably pull the hair from underneath and pull it up to cover, because this is the thing that's always, this is just like I go off about the Barbies, the color reveal Barbies and the wigs with the plastic band, but you know, get over it, Melissa. Okay, so we've got this, and now let's see. I want to put on an outfit. So I'm going to make a person who is like me, and except they're not going to be wearing a cool rainbow paw print shirt that they bought late one night on Facebook, forgot about, because you know when you buy something on Facebook, it comes like 10 years later, and you're like, what the heck is this? Where'd this come from? And it comes from some country you've never heard of. You're just like, what is this? Yeah, so, but they don't, it's not an option. Not an option for this set. Okay. So what I mean by I'm going to create a person like me, I'm going to create a person who in some ways, in terms of their hair, and what I'm going to do, I think with the shoes, and we're going to carry a purse, because I do like purses, by the way. Pocketbooks, handbags. I used to be like a freak for them. Now I've got my Vera Bradley. I've got a couple of Vera Bradleys, but I used to be like the queen of Coach and just yeah, it used to be a thing. But I used to go places. And then once I got sick, first of all, we couldn't afford for me to be really spending money on bags. And two, I didn't go to work anymore, and I don't know. I just really kind of stopped caring about bags and started caring more about dolls. I started putting my money into dolls. And let me tell you something, doll collecting is a much cheaper hobby in some ways than collecting nice bags. Those puppies can be expensive. But I used to have a job where I could afford that. So, all right, here we go. All right, so I've got this cool shark t-shirt on, all right? We've got these jeans. They're cuffed. Yeah, okay. So I messed up your weave. Now, we've got three different choices for shoes. We've got some blue sneakers, we've got these cool rainbow sandals, and we've got these red boots. I like these rainbow sandals. I think these are very cool. Now, these are platform sandals, so technically not something I would wear. I don't wear heels. I don't like heels. When I worked, I wore a very low heel because it was expected that women would wear shoes with heels. Why? I don't know. But the best thing in the world happened. I got MS and I couldn't wear, I couldn't walk in heels anymore. And then they were like this. I mean, I found the lowest heeled shoe possible. These little pumps with like this. But what was really funny was I actually eventually had to wear sneakers. I had to wear black sneakers. So I stopped wearing suits that had skirts and I started wearing suits that had pants because suits with skirts and black sneakers just looked really off to me. It looked like I got to work and forgot to change into my dress shoes is what it looked like. It looked much better with the pants. And it was pretty cool because then I was walking around in sneakers because I couldn't feel my feet. But that was kind of cool. So I got to do that for a while. Okay, so this person here is a person who loves having their long, they style this. They use some sort of device to make sure that they have big, voluminous curls. They love their hair. Hair care is very important to them. Gives no craps about makeup. Digs shirts with like graphics on them of any kind. Pants, what goes on the bottom of their body, they don't give a crap. So jeans and whatever the jeans look like. But is really into cool and funky footwear. So when they saw these rainbow platform sandals, they had to have them. They really don't give a crap too much about bags. This one's very utilitarian. They can get their iPad, their phone, their lunch, their crap in it. So yeah, they'll carry this bag. And there you go. This is my person. Is this person a boy or a girl? Well, how can you tell? The only way we know if someone identifies as a boy or a girl, sorry, this is bothering me, is if they tell us. Because this person right here, we don't know what their biology is just by looking at them right now. We don't know. We could make assumptions based on their chest, but that doesn't mean that they haven't had surgery. Could be binding. You don't know. You're not gonna, say, excuse me, can I see your genitalia? So you're gonna try and make decisions based on secondary sex characteristics, such as what does their hair look like? Are they growing facial hair? What do their hands look like? You're trying to judge. How are they dressed? Well, I don't know. I mean, I want it so you're going to look at it and go, okay, the shoes are a dead giveaway. Yep, it's a girl. Really? Just because of the shoes? Really? I think the only way you know is if he tells you. And if you're not sure, you can ask them. And I called him a him. So I guess in my head, I decided he's a he. And sometimes we do that. Like we see someone and we decide by looking at them that they are what we've decided they are. Wow, my lighting thing just did a whole thing right now. And that's what happens to parents when they give birth to a child. As the child is born, and even before, at 20 weeks, we go for the big, sorry, my hair is just going to be a source of, I'm probably going to cut it in like 2 weeks. I'm just going to not deal with the growing it back in thing. But so, at birth, or at 20 weeks, you have the ultrasound and they're like, do you want to know the sex of the baby? So basically they're asking you, what we've said, what we've thought about it through all these years is, I want to find out if it's a boy or a girl. And I'm gonna make that decision based on what kind of genitalia they see on an ultrasound. So it's really funny. This is kind of funny in retrospect. So we did our 20-week ultrasound, and our child was not cooperating. So they could not see our child's genitalia. And so they said, we're going to say that we're pretty sure, just kind of based on the angle in this, that we're going to say we're pretty sure it's female. But they could not say 100%. He said 95%, from this angle, I'm thinking female. Well, he was wrong. But when the child was born, the doctors looked at the child, looked at the genitalia and said, it's a girl. And we were like, we have a girl. And then we, based on some biology and anatomy, we proceeded to raise our child a certain way because we made the assumption, based on biology and anatomy, that our child was female. Now, our child had female reproductive organs, but that did not mean that our child's gender was female. It did not mean that our child's gender identity was female. It didn't mean that their gender expression would be female, although it was when they were younger. And here's the thing, because I know a lot of parents get tripped up here. So their child comes out to them as trans and says, okay, mom, dad, I'm a boy. And they're like, what? No, you're my little girl. And they're like, I'm a boy. I've always been a boy. I feel this, that, the other. Okay. And so they're like, we get on board with the pronouns and whatever. And in some cases, the gender expression of the transgender or non-binary person is not in line with what they're telling you their gender identity is. So, and this is not the case in my family, but in some families, and I'm in a lot of groups with parents that are like, I don't understand. My daughter says, I'm going to use their language. My daughter says she's a boy, and she's making us use different pronouns and call her by a different name, but she's still wearing makeup. Because in our heads, we think only females want to wear makeup. But that's not true. That's not true at all. It's just something that we've done in our society. There's a lot of parents of non-binary kids who are like, they say they're non-binary, but they're totally dressing like a girl, or they're totally dressing like a boy, or like, I don't even know what they're dressing as. Like those things, you really need to read this book, because I know I'm not expressing it well. But, and that's what's so cool about these Creatable World dolls, is that you can have those conversations with your child. You can, start to teach your kid at a young age that as you're dressing them, and see what they're saying. Are they saying, are they dressing them and putting them in pants and the sneakers and saying, look, mommy, I made a boy? And are they putting them in a skirt? Oh, it's time to wake up the teenager. Are they putting them in a skirt and the high-heeled shoes and saying, look, daddy, I made a girl? And is that an opening for you as a parent to talk to them about, well, maybe not necessarily, hun. And say, oh, I love your character. What's your character's name? Tell me about them. What do they like? What do they not like? All, different stuff like that. I just put on a skirt with like a dress. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I'm talking and doing things at the same time. So, but you can also say to them, just because a person wears a certain kind of clothes doesn't necessarily mean that they're a boy or a girl. And you can have those conversations. And allow your children to gravitate towards the clothes that they like. I was really lucky because we were kind of poor, so I wore hand-me-downs and I had 2 older brothers. And that worked for me. That totally worked for me. I was totally fine with that. But if I grew up in today's world, I would do what I did to my child, and I would dress them in pink and frills and glitter, and my child would think they had to dress like that. And maybe they even liked the flamboyancy of it, or maybe it didn't feel right. It depends on the kid. But maybe I would have been dressed like that, and maybe I would have hated it. And when I think back to the times that I did have to dress up for events, like I was a flower girl in a wedding, and I got really, really sick. And I'm wondering if that was some sort of psychological rejection of the whole thing with the frou-frou dress and everybody making a big deal about my hair and my dress and my shoes and how pretty you look. And I don't know. It's like every time that I had to dress up very girly, it was very uncomfortable for me. But I am female. I identify as I'm female. I'm female. It's not that I identify not as female. I just don't like that. I don't like feeling like that. I don't like getting dressed up in dresses and frilly. And when people would ask me about my wedding dress, my mom would laugh so hard because she would tell people, go on, ask her about her wedding dress. And they'd say, oh, tell me all about your wedding gown. And I would say, well, it's long and it's white. I couldn't even remember if they'd be like, is there embroidery? Or they're like, is there beads? And I'd be like, it's long and it's white and it's strapless. I know that much. I just knew that, like, after trying on several dresses, I was like, okay, can you find the plainest? But I know I wanted to be strapless. I knew that much because I couldn't deal with whatever was going to go on up here, like choking me. And I was just like, bring me the plainest thing you have. And then I made them all really pissed off because I made them cut the train off the dress because it had like a train. And they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I don't know. I don't want to be dragging my dress behind me. And then people have to bustle it and pin it to me. And now it's hanging off my ass like a weird fanny pack for like 6 hours. No, I don't want my extra dress. Please cut it off. Meanwhile, my husband took forever to figure out what he wore, a morning coat. I mean, he's completely different to me. His gender expression is completely flamboyant. He has all the closets in the house are filled with Bill's clothes and shoes, and he's all about that stuff. It is so funny. We are so different. So okay, so here's we're gonna call her. What do you want? What do you want to be named? Call me something like super girly. Well, no, our name's super girly. Some names are super girly. Are we going to say that? I don't know. What's your name? My name is Lilibel. Seriously? I just made that up. Lilibel. And I like to paint. And I really dig this dress. And I really dig these shoes. And there you go. This is Lilibel. You like the hat? I dig the hat too. Yeah, give me that hat. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I'm styling. Yeah. Now, we still don't know biologically about Lilibel. And we don't need to know biologically about Lilibel, all right? None of my damn business. It's Lilibel. She's a girl. She's good to go. So, and they also have, the set comes with these really cool sunglasses. So, I can't get the cool sunglasses out. It's so cool. So that's the one Creatable World set. Okay, so Lilibel. I'm going to leave you as Lilibel here with your hat. Like you're going on safari. So this doll basically comes, but this is still cool. You can give them a doll that has the choice of either having this really cool haircut or having long hair. So this is, I guess, like an add-on doll. There we go. So check out this cool haircut. Ooh, cool haircut. Cool haircut. I hate that color. Yeah. Lilibel, what do you think? I'm not digging the color. And then it also comes with this Farrah Fawcett-like wig right here. Let's see how this Farrah Fawcett wig works. Who's Farrah Fawcett? Oh, you guys are so young. There we go. It's not the best. But you could give this as a gift, and it's like, look, it's whatever you want to make it. This person is whoever you want to make them. And then the other set, I just want to pull out the, so the other set, which is the DC220, they have code numbers. These are all of the different sort of combinations, and you could make more combinations of what this person could look like. The hair on the doll is this kind of curly, big hair, and then the wig is this wig here. But you could mix and match and use this wig and put this wig on this doll. Or we could put this wig on Lilibel. Oh, I would love that. You really want this wig? I really want the blonde wig, yes. Oh yeah, I'm rocking it. Actually, you are. If I did it right, you could really rock this. I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing a really bad job. You suck, I know. This is not my area of expertise, but if I had done a better job, look at this. Look at you. Oh, I love it. So, see? Mix and match. That's kind of what we are as people. Mix and match. Create your world. Creatable world. So I would love it if this holiday season people would buy Creatable World dolls, and maybe we can keep them on the shelves, or at least keep them in stock on Amazon, and keep Mattel making Creatable World dolls, because I think it's so important. They have a variety of skin tones as well as different hair options, and you can create someone who looks like you, create someone who doesn't look like you. For parents, it's an opportunity through play to have really important conversations with their kids about identity on all levels. Gender, race, personhood. Dolls are so important to play. And I think that because Creatable World is trying so much to be kind of a blank slate with a bunch of options that you can create a person out of, that it is such a great opportunity to have conversations with your kids. So please try out Creatable World dolls. This book, there is also there's a transgender child book by the same authors. So it goes more into depth if you're raising a child who, from birth or, at a very young age, it lets you know that they are transgender or non-binary or fluid or, whatever. They're both, I have both books, and they're both really, really good. And they really, really help me as a human being to understand the variety of, and like I said, it helped me to understand me. There's nothing wrong with me, and I'm not ashamed anymore that I don't like to get dressed up in dresses, get all fancy, and like that I'm uncomfortable in a fancy dress, that I'm uncomfortable in high heels. I'm not ashamed of that. There's nothing wrong with me. It doesn't mean anything. It just means I don't like to wear fancy dresses and high heels. The fact that I don't like to do my hair doesn't mean anything except that I don't like to play with hair. But I love makeup. I could play with makeup all day long. So, I think we're moving towards a world where we can be exactly who we are, the way we want to be. But a big part of making that a reality is that people who are parents now are making sure that their children know that, and that they grow up with it just naturally being that a person is whomever, whatever they tell you they are. And don't assume anything based on what you're looking at, and just be open and be kind to each other, and allow for the beautiful diversity of human experience that God has gifted us with. And, you know, you're like, what? Last thing in this video, I find all of this to be completely in line with my Christian beliefs. I do not see any of this as non-Christian. I don't, in my studies, I've not found anything in the Bible that would suggest that Jesus wouldn't be on board with this. And I think that God created flowers and trees and animals in amazing diversity, and within species, amazing diversity. And there is diversity in sexuality and gender presentation and so many different things in nature. Why would human beings be any different? And so I'm totally, and if you would like some recommendations, I'll probably put that in the description too. There are some books, if you are a Christian who is struggling with kind of reconciling your feelings of support for the LGBTQ plus community and your Christianity, or you know, whatever religion you are, there are some books that can kind of help you out with sort of helping you to work that through. And there's some really good Facebook groups as well of Christian parents of trans and non-gender conforming kids who are supporting each other and helping each other, you know, do both, because you can, because they're not separate, because God made the world. So that's God made Creatable World. And we need to buy more Creatable World, so Creatable World stays out there for everybody. So that is my rant for today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you again real soon.